Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you're doing well. And this video is gonna be kind of a different one. Not a review per se, more of just a listening session and reaction to what is essentially some computer-generated music. Now, if you're familiar with composition, digital composition, MIDI, you know that there has been computer-generated music already in the past, computer-generated compositions, so that in and of itself is not anything entirely new or not anything revolutionary per se. However, what DADABots are doing here is really different, and it's kind of shocking the way that they're going about creating what they create. I'll just read from their website to give you guys an idea of what's going on here. We use a modified sample RNN architecture to generate music in modern genres such as black metal and math rock. Unlike MIDI and symbolic models, sample RNN generates raw audio in the time domain. This requirement becomes increasingly important in modern music styles where timbre and space are used compositionally. Long developmental compositions with rapid transitions between sections are possible by increasing the depth and network beyond the number used for speech datasets. We are delighted by the unique characteristic artifacts of neural synthesis. And one of the first ways I came across this project was through a little metal album off of their Bandcamp, where apparently this record over here that is next to me is the computer trying to reimagine or reapply sounds that it gained off of Krallice's Diotima, which, if you're familiar with math rock and black metal, is a very large, epic, washy, loud, and atmospheric black metal album. So as I play a little bit of what I'm going to play right here, you guys are actually going to be hearing the raw audio in the mix of this video here. So let's go, let's do it. Oh, that's really weird. It makes me smile because I'm actually kind of amazed by it. It obviously doesn't sound like much and is not that inspiring from a compositional standpoint, but the aesthetic is there. I mean, it's not perfectly clean and well assembled and smoothed out like the way that Krallice's sound is, but to me, it sounds like I'm honestly listening to a live demo of Krallice. There's kind of a weird trebly ambient noise around a lot of the sounds in the mix for some reason. I don't know why exactly that is, if that's kind of a kink that they need to work out in whatever they're making the computer do to generate these sounds. But still, I mean, if you had told me this was a band of people playing live, honestly, I would believe you. I mean, maybe they're playing a little awkwardly and the performance isn't that smooth. You know, there is kind of a rigidness to the performance, I guess you could say. But what I'm listening to sounds like I'm hearing drums. It sounds like I'm actually hearing guitars. Not the best recorded drums and guitars, but it sounds like I'm actually hearing regular instrumentation, like regular black metal, atmospheric black metal instrumentation. Going through the list of other records that they have on their site, they've actually kind of reimagined through this program other records that I enjoy. Dillinger Escape Plan's Calculating Infinity. They've done some Beatles material too, which is very surreal, very odd. And they've actually done one of my favorite rock records of all time, Battles Mirrored. So I'm actually going to be listening to a little bit of that right now just to give it a shot and just kind of see what the computer's approach is when it's a style of music that isn't quite as spacey and as washed out as Krallice's sound. By comparison, Battles is much more tight, muscular, and defined. So how will the computer approach a sound and an aesthetic that kind of doesn't leave that much room open for mistakes, a sound that is a little bit more precise? I feel like I'm listening to the instrumentation, or at least some of the parts of the instrumentation from one of my favorite rock songs, just like spinning on a record player that is constantly speeding up but slowing down, speeding up and slowing down. But then on top of it, it's really hot in the room, so the record is melting on the turntable too as it's spinning. Again, sort of like the Krallice track, there's not a whole lot to hear compositionally. It's very repetitious. When it seems like a lead melody is going to pop in, it just sort of seems very messy, though the tone of like the keyboard or the guitar is certainly there. It just seems like kind of sloppy and drunk and like not put together enough to sort of play like a clear, concise melody. And then there's the vocals, and consistently whenever I hear a vocal mimicked through this program on any of these albums, it sounds like I'm listening to like you remember the movie Poltergeist, where the girl is sucked into the TV and you're kind of hearing her like calling to her parents from, you know, beyond that dimension where she's sucked in with the poltergeist and stuff, and her voice is like kind of manipulated and reversed and it like sounds really weird. The vocals kind of remind me of that. Still, they sound like actual voices though. It's just that they are really kind of surreal and trippy and really freaky and a little unsettling. But it doesn't sound like anything that, you know, couldn't be done with maybe a little bit of vocal processing or some crazy effects in the studio. Again, I feel like I'm in a weird place listening to this music. In some ways, aesthetically, it's eerily similar, like it's right on point. Again, a lot like the Krallice track, there are some weird pieces of ambient sound around the instrumentation. It sounds like I'm listening to not a Battle studio cut, but like a really bad, weird live bootleg, or like a just like a demo from a bad practice session. But still, even though the recording isn't super clean, it sounds like I'm listening to real instrumentation. It sounds like I'm listening to a real musician play a thing, except, you know, just the performance is a little off. I guess I liken the wild approach to tempo that this program takes a lot to, I don't know, like listening to Captain Beefheart and his magic band bang through all these crazy jazz rock freakouts on Trout Mask Replica. I don't know, man, I've heard a lot of computer-generated music in the past, and sometimes the compositions that computers have come together with have been pretty impressive. But I feel like what Dadabots have been able to accomplish with what they're doing here is even eerier and freakier to a degree, because this computer is also mimicking, in a way, the compositions and the chords and sometimes the riffs that these bands are coming together with, but really, truly, it's mirroring in a scarily accurate way the aesthetics of these bands, which has a lot to do with the originality of a particular group or artist's sound. So, guys, I'm going to link Dadbot's site and a lot of the band camps that they have put together down below in the description box. Give these things a listen. Let me know what you think of this computer-generated rock music and just how on the money it is or isn't. I thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Transition. Have you given this computer-generated music a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best. You're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe, and please don't cry. Just leave a thoughtful comment down in the comments if you're feeling thoughtful. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up, click on that, or click on the link to subscribe to the channel next to my head. Anthony Fantano, blah, 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 forever.